Hello students, I'm back with NT Abhyas 2.0. I'm today taking the chapter test released in the JEE tab of Physics and Measurement Test 1. Now this is a very good paper for practice. It's not very tough, it's a perfect paper. The questions which are genuinely asked, it would be a very good revision for all of you, so you must attempt this paper. This is a very good practice paper, so I rate it as a very nice paper. So this is my rating for this. 12 questions I have termed as easy, 15 I have termed as medium, and 3 are tough. They are also not that tough, so it's a very perfect paper. So going by this analysis, and a good student or above average score would be 80 marks. You should get 80 marks in this paper if you are good in this chapter, and if you are very good, you should get a score greater than 105. That should be you should be getting it if you are very good in this particular thing. Remember, this is a topic which students generally neglect, and this is the topic from which questions typically always comes, whether you give JEE Main, JEE Advanced or NEET. So be careful with this chapter and do practice it. It's really a very nice paper. So let's find it out. Hello students, so let's start this test. Which one of the following units denotes the dimension ml2 by q2, where q denotes the electric charge? Okay, and looking at the options, all are related to the magnetic flux, or you can say to the inductance. So looking at this q square means there's something like charge square or the current square. So the formula that strikes me is the energy stored in inductor, that I write as half Li square. So looking at this, I can directly make it out. Look at this. Can I write it like this? ml2 upon q square, and a q you know is a q is 80 sort of thing. So q is 80. If I write this is a square t square, so it becomes ml2 t minus 2 over a2, which means this is energy upon this is current square. So looking at this, you can easily make it out. This matches with the dimensions of inductance, so the unit would be Henry. Go for option D in this case. Next one, the dimensional formula of the constant small a in van der Waals gas equation is. So just looking at it, what we can make it out, the dimension of pressure must be equal to dimension of A by V square, because you can add two terms only when they have the same dimensions or represent same quantity. So the dimension of A is P into V square. What is P? P is force upon area, and V square, you can write it like this. So what is force? Force, I always advise my students to remember, that is mlt minus 2. Energy is ml2 t minus 2. This is mlt minus 2. Area is L2, and V square, you can write it as L to the power 6. So it comes out as ml to the power, I can make it out as 5, and this is t to the power minus 2. Which of the option matches? Option D again. So that would be the answer. Next one. Which one of the following pairs doesn't have similar dimension? Tension and surface tension. So this would be the answer, because surface tension is not a force, it is force per unit length, while tension is a force. So definitely they are not same, so no need to move ahead, you can directly take it. Next. Now very famous question, time dependence of a physical quantity is given by P is P naught exponential minus alpha t square, where alpha is a constant, t is the time. That means it is written something like this. So you know the argument of this exponential function must be dimensionless. That means alpha t square must be dimensionless. So this is dimensionless, that means the dimension of alpha must match the dimension of 1 by t square, that is t to the power minus 2. So go for option C in this case. Next one. Time for 20 oscillations of a pendulum is measured in 3 trials like this. What is the accuracy? So what is the accuracy of the measurement if I have to calculate? So first of all, what I can say, the average value of this t would be t mean, that I write as t1 plus t2 plus t3 over what we can say divided by 3. So this is 39.6 plus 39.9 plus 39.5 divided by 3. So if I solve it, it comes out as 9 and 6, 15, 20, 11, 20, 29, 5, 8, 11, 119 by 3. So if I write it, it would be 119 by 3 means it is 329, then you have 20, so 39.66 something it will come. So as per the significant figures, I should round off in 3 figures, because this has 3 figures, so final answer must have only 3 significant figures. So it would be 39.7. that would be the average or the t mean what you write. Now how to calculate the error? You know the absolute error in the first delta T1 would be 39.7 minus 39.6. Ideally it should be the other way, measured minus true value. So ultimately it doesn't matter because we will take the mod, but the right way is like this. And in the second trial, the delta T2 is 39.9 minus 39.7. This would be 0.2. In the third trial, I'll write as 39.5 minus 39.7, that is again 0.2. So what would be delta T mean? That would be 0.1 plus 0.2 plus 0.2 divided by 3, that is 0.7 by 3. So this is 0.23. So in two significant figures, 0.2 must be the answer. So answer, the error limit would be, delta T mean is this, so error limit would be 0.2 seconds that I can write. So go for option A. You can see one of such example, I think the example number 10 in chapter 2. The density of a material in CGS system of unit is 4 gram per centimeter cube. In a system of units in which the unit of length is 10 centimeters and unit of mass is 100 grams, the value of density of the material will be, okay. So 4 gram per centimeter cube. In the new system, the unit of length is 10 centimeter. So what I can write, I can say 10 to the power 3 centimeter cube would be equal to 1 times that length unit. Let's call it L cube or something, or don't write anything. Let's say the length unit, you can say length unit to the power 3. That is the factor we have make it. Mass is 100 grams. So 100 grams, that means you can say that one mass unit would be equal to what you can say 100 grams. So cancelling this, what you will be left with, you would be left with 40, I suppose. Yes, so it would be 40 times that mass unit upon that length cube. Go for option C in this case. I've just used that factor label method that you usually use in chemistry. An experiment is performed to obtain the value of acceleration due to gravity g by using a simple pendulum of length L. I think this is the same example given in NCERT and most of you might be remembering the answer as well. So what to do this? Here you know the time period is 2 pi root L by g. So the value of g is 4 pi square L by t square. So the fractional error in g, because 4 pi square is fixed thing, that would be delta L by L plus twice of delta t by t. Here delta L by L, as per this, least count is 1 mm. So this reading is 20.0 plus minus 0.1 centimeter. You can write because that would be the accuracy. And delta t by t, this is important. You have measured time of 100 oscillations, that is 90 plus minus 1. So you are not measuring t, you are measuring small t, which is 100 times t, and this 100 is done by counting. So this 100 is by counting, so there is no error. I can say t is proportional to t, so directly I can say delta t by t is delta t by t. So I can write that capital delta t by t, fractional error in the measurement of one period would be equal to the same in the 100 periods, that is 1 by 90. So what do you have now? So delta g by g is delta L by L, which is 0.1 by 20. And let's say if I had to write in percent into 100% plus what we have, 1 by 90 into 100%. So what you are left with, this is what you will be left with, 10 by 20. So this would be 0.5% if I'm right. Yes. And 100 by 90 would be, I think, 2.2%. So it's approximately 2.7%. So go for option D. I think most of you must be remembering the answer that I said before. If the units of the length, mass and time are doubled, then the unit of angular momentum. So first of all, what is angular momentum? Angular momentum you can remember by MVR. So this is M, V is LT minus 1 into L. So this would be ML2T minus 1. So now if the unit of mass is doubled, this is 2 times, length is doubled, this will become 4 times, time is doubled, that will become half times. So overall it will be 4 times. You can directly say it would be quadrupled. So it's an easy one for you. Next one. Out of the following 4-dimensional quantities, which one qualifies to be called a universal constant? No acceleration due to gravity varies from place to place. Surface tension of water, that also varies with temperature and everything. So weight of a standard kilogram mass. So it's a universal constant. Let's see, velocity of light in vacuum. Yes, that you can write as a universal constant because it is independent of any frame and it will be measured always the same. Yeah, that's for sure. Weight of a standard kg mass, I think, will also cannot be called as a universal constant. I suppose most appropriate, I am looking like it would be option D, because the relativity theory says the velocity of light is independent of the any reference frame, so that can be taken as a universal constant. Next, find the dimensions of electrical permittivity. So the permittivity, you can go for any result. You remember the standard one is that 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q square by r square. So the dimension of epsilon naught, you can make it out as q square. 4 pi is dimensionless, fr square. Q is at, so a square t square. Force I called you always to remember, mlt minus 2, and this would be L square, so ml3. So whatever you are left with, m minus 1, L minus 3, t plus 4, a plus 2. So which are the options that you are matching here? First one is the correct one, go for it. Next one, the dimensional formula for entropy. Entropy, you know, is q reversible by t or q by t. So energy upon temperature. Energy ml2 t minus 2, temperature is Kelvin, so ml2 t minus 2k minus 1. So option C, that's an easy one for you. You all remember this thing. Electric displacement, okay, this is an important quantity. D is called epsilon times E, where epsilon is permittivity, E is electric field strength. The dimensions of electric displacement are, so just remember the formula. If you remember, E dot ds over a closed surface is q enclosed upon epsilon naught. So if you can remember this, q epsilon naught dimension would be E times epsilon naught into area. You can say, so this is the quantity T, so that would be q enclosed upon area. So that is what you required. Charge is at and area is a not a square, that is L square. So make it a right. So it would be L minus 2 at. So go for option C in this particular case. Okay, next one. If EMJG represents energy, mass, okay, angular momentum, gravitational constant, and the dimensional formula of, okay. So let me check what it wants to say. E is energy, m is mass, j is angular momentum, and g is the gravitational constant. You have to know option. I can't remember any equation which involves like this. So energy is ml2 t minus 2. Mass is the good one, that is capital M. Angular momentum, right now we calculated in one of the question MVR. So what it was, MVR ml2 t minus 1, that I think we calculated, yes. And the gravitational constant, you know, fr square upon m square. So f is mlt minus 2 into r square, so that is L3 upon what we had, m square, that is m to the power 2. So that is m minus 1 L3 t minus t plus 2, sorry, t minus 2, okay. And that is I written here wrong because it is for the force, t minus 2, okay. So now what we are left with, E into j square. So if I do E into j square, so that would be m cube here, and m5, that would be m to the power minus 2, and upon g square, so m will be cancelled, so it would be m0 for sure. So m would be 0 first. Now departing length, E is L2, j square would be L4, so it would be L6, and g square would be again L6, so L is also 0. So m0, L0, oh, still we have option. Now look for t. So E is t to the power minus 2, t to the power minus 1, so t to the power minus 4 on the upper side, and g t to the power minus 4 on the lower side also. So this is dimensionless. Go for option D in this case. Next one. Solar constant is defined as energy received by Earth per centimeter square per minute. Okay, so that means the solar constant dimension is energy per unit area per unit time. So energy is ml2 t minus 2, area is L2 times t. So this cancel, so what we are left with, mt minus 3. So which is the option? Go for option C in this particular case. Next one. There are atomic clocks capable of measuring time with an accuracy of 1 part in 10 to the power 11. If two such clocks are operated with precision, then after running for 5,000 years, these will record. So what these will record? Okay, so you have to find the error basically. So 5,000 years, so 5,000 years, 1 year is 365 days, and that is 24 hours, and that is 3600 seconds. So the error that we can have is 1 part in 10 to the power 11, that is 1 upon 10 to the power 11 seconds. That is what we can make it out. So just do it. This is power 3, this is power 5. Let's 2 of this 7, let's say 9 and 11. So going by this, I can easily make it out that this is approximately 10 to the power 11. It would be nearly 1 second. The powers are matching. It cannot be a day because day would be many seconds, and others are also too many seconds. So go for option A. Next one. a current of 2.34 amperes flows in a resistance of this ohms. The potential difference across the given resistance with due regard for the significant figure is, V is IR. So I contains 3 significant figures, R contain definitely greater than 3, so final answer must be in 3 figures. So go for option C in this particular case. So next, public park in the form of a square has an area of this, the side of park is. Okay, so what we have, the fractional error in area that I can make it out is 0.2 over 100. So we know area is L square. So directly the fractional area, the fractional error in A would be twice the fractional error in length. So the length error would be 0.1 by 100, or you can call it as what we can say 0.1 by 100, or you can call it as 0.01 by 10, I suppose. Okay, so the correct option in this particular case is only what I can say would be it is 10 plus minus 0.01. ऑप्शन नंबर ए यही इकलौता ऑप्शन यहाँ पे सही होगा. सो दैट इज द ओनली ऑप्शन दैट सीम्स विजिबल. सो टिक ऑप्शन ए. नेक्स्ट, going ahead, if E is the charge, V is the potential difference, T is the temperature, then the units of EV by T are same as. So EV is energy and this is T. So energy is 3 by 2 kT. If you remember, for ideal gases, gas molecules random thermal energy, so this E by T would be same as K. K is called the Boltzmann constant. Go for option C. Next, in CGS system, the magnitude of the force is 100 dynes. In another system where the fundamental physical quantities are kg meter minute, okay, the magnitude of the forces, this is mlt minus 2. So what you have, 100 dynes. So dynes mean that this mass is taken in gram, this length is taken in centimeters, time is taken as 1 second. So better write it as upon 1 second square. Now convert it, what do you know, in kg. So what you remember is 1 kg is 1000 grams, 1 meter is 100 centimeters, and what we have, 3600 second square is equal to 1 minute square, I can write. So converting it, what we will get, this would be, this 100 and 100 cancels up, this would be 3.6. okay, so the answer would be in this case 3.6 in that particular unit. Go for option C. Next one, assertion says dimensionless quantity is always unitless, angles are always dimensionless. So assertion is dimensionless quantity is always unitless is not right. For plane angle and solid angles, angles are always dimensionless, that is correct. So assertion is false, but the reason is true. So remember, plane angle and solid angle, they don't have any dimension, but they have a unit. Next, the potential energy of a particle varies with distance x from the fixed origin like this. The dimensions of A are, so just compare it. So what we have, because B dimension matches with x square because you are adding, so this dimension of A would be U into, if I can make it out, it is x to the power 3 by 2. So U is energy, ml2 t minus 2, this is L to the power 3 by 2. So this is ml2 plus 3 by 2, that would be 7 by 2 t minus 2. So go for option D.
Now let's move ahead. 22nd. The dependency of speed of water surface waves on the density of water, wavelength and surface tension will be. So again we have to match the dimensions. So for density, the dimension is ml minus 3, mass per unit volume. For the wavelength lambda, this is L, and for surface tension it is force per unit length, that is mt minus 2. And for the speed, this is lt minus 1. So this is what you require in this case. So we think gamma should be above and it should be root gamma for sure, and to cancel m it should be upon root rho. And now to get L, because of root rho this L cube comes up above, so we need L, so it should be lambda downwards. So now we can match it. So going by this, the correct option that I can make out is option B. Go ahead. Next, which of the following sets cannot be taken as fundamental quantity in any system of units? We know they should be independent. So length, mass and velocity can be taken, because you cannot have mass in terms of length or velocity. They can be taken. Length, time, velocity cannot be taken, because velocity you can write as length into time. So they are not truly independent. You can write the velocity in terms of length and time. So this cannot be taken. So the answer should be option B. Next,
if C, H and G are taken as fundamental quantities, the dimensional formula of mass is. So again what you have to do, let's say C is the speed of light, that is Lt minus 1. For H it is the Planck's constant energy upon frequency. Frequency is T minus 1, so that would be ml2 T minus 3, I suppose. ml2 T T minus 1, because frequency is 1 by T, so it would be ml2 T minus 1. And then what you have, G is Fr square upon m square, so Fr square upon m square, that is m minus 1, and this would be L3, and this is T minus 2. So these are the dimensions for these three quantities. Now to get mass and to get everything out of the equation, so it's clear it should be H and G. If I talk about it should be as per the option H. If H is half, then definitely G must be minus half. So H half, G minus half. There is any option? Yes, there is only one option which matches the dimension of mass. Let me check it completely. H half means m to the power 1 by 2 L to the power 1. So L to the power 1 from here, L to the power 3 by 2 from here, and L to the power half. Yes, L also cancels out, and you can see similarly T will also cancel out. So go for option B in this case. Next one, match the following. Take the relative strength of one of the strongest fundamental quantities in nature as 1. Okay. So if you take it as 1, okay, we know the maximum strength is of electromagnetic, not strong nuclear force. So A matches with F. All options are like that. Then we have electromagnetic force, which is 100 to 1000 times lesser. So it would be option E. So only option D is wait a minute. This is C to E, not B to E. So it should be C to E, not B to E. So C to E. Okay, we have three options. Wait a minute. Then weak nuclear force, and the least powerful is the gravitation, so gravitation would be 10 to the power minus 39. So D should be I. So option C will be the only correct choice in this particular case, and weak nuclear force would be like this. Next one, the dimensional formula. This is a very standard question. 1 upon root mu epsilon naught is equal to C, or 1 upon root mu naught epsilon naught equal to C square. C square means L2T minus 2. Going by this, go for option L2T minus 2. Sorry, be careful. L2T minus 2. Go for option A. Next one, choose the incorrect one. All quantities may be represented dimensionally in terms of the base quantity. Yes. A base quantity cannot be represented dimensionally in terms of rest of the base quantity. Yes. Dimension of base quantity in other base quantity is always 0. Yes. So all three are correct. Dimension of a derived quantity is never 0 in any base quantity. This is a false statement. It can be 0 in many. For example, if you talk of volume, except length, it is 0 in all other base quantities. Okay. Next one, function as y is equal to x cube. The approximate value of the function x equal to, this is a binomial approximation which you call as y is equal to x cube, that is 2.0001 whole cube. You can write it as 2 plus 0.0001 okay, cube. So we can have it like 2 I can take as common. So 1 plus 0.00005 whole cube. Now using binomial approximation, this is 1 plus x to the power n. This can be approximated as 1 plus nx, that is 3 into 0.12345. So it is 8 into 1 plus what you will have 5 3s are 15, so 0.00015. So it would be 8 into 1.00015. So 8 5s are 40, 8 1s are 8, 12, 008.00120. Go for option C using binomial approximation. Next, the relative error in the determination of surface area of the sphere is alpha. The relative error in the determination of volume, as you know, surface area is proportional to r square, volume is proportional to r cube. So delta S by S would be delta R by R times 2, and delta V by V would be 3 times delta R by R. So what we can have, we can take the ratio, it would be 2 by 3. So this is alpha upon the fractional change error in volume would be 2 by 3. So fractional change volume error in volume would be 3 alpha by 2. So option A, that's a very common question. Now coming to the last one. Oh, question seems to be quite lengthy. Next, 3 students make measurement of a length of a 1.54 meter rod. Each student reports an uncertainty estimate representing an independent random error applicable to the measurement Alice. A single measurement using a 2 meter long tape measured to within plus minus 2 mm. Okay. Bob, 2 measurements using a wooden meter stick each of within plus minus 2 mm which he adds together. Okay. 2 measurements using a machinist meter ruler each to within plus minus 1 mm which he adds together. The student's teacher prefer measurements that are likely to have less percentage error, which is the correct order of preference. Okay, which is the correct order of preference in this particular case. So what we have in the case of Alice, the error, because it is one measurement, the error in the first case would be, you can say it is plus minus 2 mm. For the second, he is adding the two readings, both are to 2 mm, so you know here the error will be added, absolute error is added while we do the addition, so it would be plus minus 4 mm, so it is not going to be preferred that much. Here again 2 are added, but plus minus 1 both you will add, it would be plus minus 2 mm. So this is how we will have, so these two are equally preferred and the Bob one is the least preferred. So who are same preferred? Alice and Christina. So yes, option C will be the answer here. A very nicely asked question. So I think this was a very nicely designed paper. Thanks for watching.